David Johansen, a punk legend and the last surviving member of the pioneering band the New York Dolls, has died. Johansen, who was 75, had been living with cancer for nearly a decade and a brain tumor for 5 years, according to a Sweet Relief Musicians Fund fundraiser. David Johansen passed away peacefully at home, holding the hands of his wife Leah Hennessey and daughter Leah, in the sunlight surrounded by music and flowers, the family posted on the fundraiser site. After a decade of profoundly compromised health, he died of natural causes at the age of 75. Johansen's death was confirmed by his stepdaughter, Leah Hennessey, the New York Times and Rolling Stone reported. The New York Dolls, formed in 1971 and fronted by Johansen, were the forerunners of punk, thus considered proto-punk pioneers, and glam rock as well, showing the way for bands such as Queen and Kiss. The band's 1973 self-titled debut, made by Johansen, guitarists Johnny Thunders and Sylvain, bass player Arthur Killer Kane, and drummer Jerry Nolan, is one of Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time. Produced by Todd Rundgren, songs like Personality Crisis and Bad Girl drip with sleaze and style. Reads its entry at number 301. Indeed, it's hard to imagine the Ramones or the Replacements or 1,000 other trash junkie bands without them. What the Dolls did to be influential on punk was show that anybody could do it, Johansen is quoted as saying in the entry. Johansen, who had sung in other bands before joining the New York Dolls, embarked on a solo career in the late 70s after the Dolls' breakup. That led to his 1984 debut of musical persona Buster Poindexter, a lounge singer with a backing band that included horns. The first album yielded the hit single Hot Hot Hot, a cover of a Caribbean dance song. His chameleon-like talent allowed him to move from punk to become an ultra-smooth lounge singer, according to the Rolling Stone History of Rock and Roll. Johansen also explored country and folk blues with his band David Johansen and the Harry Smiths, named after the chronicler of the Anthology of American Folk Music, releasing 2 albums, the self-titled 2000 debut and Shaker, in 2002. In the 80s, Johansen's acting career led to appearances on Miami Vice and Oz. He also played the ghost of Christmas Past in Scrooged, which starred Bill Murray. The surviving members of the New York Dolls reunited in 2004, touring and making 3 studio albums, the last, Dancing Backwards in High Heels, in 2011. It was followed by Live from the Bowery 2011. Martin Scorsese chronicled Johansen's life in the 2023 documentary Personality Crisis, One Night Only, co-directed by David Tedeschi. Johansen said in a statement to Rolling Stone earlier this month that he had broken his back in 2 different places when he fell down the stairs. That led the family to work with the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. Due to the increasingly severe financial burden our family is facing, Johansen's daughter, Leah Hennessey, wrote on February 14th. 2 weeks later, the family posted about Johansen's death. David and his family were deeply moved by the outpouring of love and support they've experienced recently as the result of having gone public with their challenges. He was thankful that he had a chance to be in touch with so many friends and family before he passed, the post on the Sweet Relief site said. He knew he was ecstatically loved. Music fans and musicians took to social media to pay tribute to Johansen. Earlier in February, Hennessey had disclosed that Johansen had been battling stage 4 cancer and a brain tumor. She revealed that he had been undergoing intensive treatment for years and that his family faced severe financial burden due to his ongoing medical care. David has been in intensive treatment for stage 4 cancer for most of the past decade, she explained. He never made his diagnosis public as he and my mother are very private, but we felt compelled to share it due to the financial challenges we were facing, she added. Hennessey also mentioned that her father had suffered a fall, breaking his back, which further complicated his health. David Johansen made his mark on the music industry in the early 1970s as the frontman of the New York Dolls, a band that helped lay the foundation for punk rock. Though the band never achieved mainstream commercial success, their influence was undeniable, shaping the sound and attitude of future generations of punk and glam rock artists. Formed in 1972, the New York Dolls released their self-titled debut album in 1973, followed by Too Much Too Soon in 1974. While both albums were commercial flops at the time, Their impact resonated far beyond record sales. In a 2021 retrospective, Billboard described the New York Dolls as a pivotal influence on countless artists, noting that there's a slew of musicians from the 70s and beyond whose careers would be unthinkable without the pioneering look, sound, and attitude of these glammed-up NYC proto-punks. Despite this, Johansen remained indifferent to the band's absence from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, once telling Billboard, "To me, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame appears to be a racket." David Johansen's career took a dramatic turn in the late 1980s when he adopted the persona of Buster Poindexter, a lounge singer alter ego known for his witty performances and the hit song Hot, Hot, Hot. The character became a sensation, and Johansen embraced the role, describing it as a way to entertain while staying true to his artistic instincts. But it's me, really. Sometimes, by getting into a certain drag or mindset, you can cast off your mortal coil and do something special. It's entertainment, he said. David Johansen's influence continued well into the 21st century. In 2004, he reunited with the New York Dolls for what was intended to be a one-off performance. But the band ended up touring and recording together for nearly a decade. "We were going to do one show, and then we wound up playing for 8 years and went around the world like 3 times, he told People. David and his family were deeply moved by the outpouring of love and support they've experienced recently as the result of having gone public with their challenges, they said. He was thankful that he had a chance to be in touch with so many friends and family before he passed. He knew he was ecstatically loved. The outlandish and raw New York Dolls, fond of vulgarity and dressing in drag, were comprised of Johansen, guitarists Sylvain and Johnny Thunders, bassist Arthur Kane and drummer Jerry Nolan, when they laid down in 8 days their eponymous breakthrough album, produced by Todd Rundgren for Mercury Records, in 1973. "We went into a room and just recorded," he said in a 2013 interview with Esquire. "It wasn't like these people who conceptualize things. It was just a document of what was going on at the time." The first song on the first side of that first album was Personality Crisis, co-written by Johansen and Thunders, to be followed by such songs as Looking for a Kiss, Vietnamese Baby, Frankenstein, and Bo Diddley's Pills. While their messy first LP, seen by many as an antidote to progressive rock, didn't sell very well, it would wind up on countless best-of lists over the years and influence such acts as the Ramones, Kiss, the Sex Pistols, and Morrissey. When the Dolls' follow-up 1974's Too Much Too Soon, produced by Shadow Morton, also failed commercially, they were dropped by Mercury after a chaotic national tour and would disband after a December 1976 show at Max's Kansas City, a club near their East Village stomping grounds. "We got sick of looking at each other, schlepping all over the place," he explained in a 2022 interview. Johansen released 6 solo albums through 1984's Sweet Revenge, then changed personas, sported a pompadour, and sang standards for the 1987 album Buster Poindexter. From that, the rollicking Hot, Hot, Hot peaked at number 42 on the Billboard Hot 100 and got lots of airplay on MTV, though he often called his biggest hit the bane of my existence.